Alright, so this is how to make a fade transition most effectively. Okay. So there's two ways you could do this. There's the more efficient way, but I don't think it's exactly what you're looking for, and there's the less efficient way. Neither of them is really harder than one another. Okay, one thing we could do is we could have this lens circle trigger. This is how long it takes to fade in and out. So I'm gonna set it to like a second. 1 is a second. And then size 0. The size starts at 1, and it's bigger than the 1 is bigger than the screen, and 0 is infinitely small. So we can see that it will do this fade transition out, and then we could fade back in. If you turn fade off, you get these sharper lines. And yeah. But I assume that's not what you're looking for. So next, go press to the pause menu, go to this gear, increase scale. It's in the second tab, increase scale. Then find this white object. You're gonna wanna place this down, and you're gonna wanna scale it up to 4 times. That's what increase scale does. And now I've half spaced it onto grid. Okay. And what you're gonna wanna do is just copy this all around the area that you wanna make dark. Make sure it goes way off screen in all directions. And you're gonna wanna set this to a new group. Okay. And we're gonna have to use triggers for this, but it isn't gonna be hard. Set it to a new group and a new color. I'm using 3 for both just because I use 3 very often. And just set 3 to black. And we're not actually gonna change the color, but what we are gonna do is use alpha triggers. Now, since this is on group 3, in our alpha trigger, we're gonna set group 3, fade times 0. This means it will happen instantly. Opacity 0. So at the start of the level, you're gonna wanna trigger with fade times 0, opacity 0, targeting this, because this will make it invisible instantly. And then, whenever you want your fade transition, let's say we want it right here, you're gonna set opacity back to max, because opacity is how much you can see. And since we can fully see it, that's 1.0 opacity. And then you're gonna set the fade time to whatever you want. Let's do 0.5. And that should work. And then if we just set the opacity back to 0, but we're gonna keep the fade time because otherwise it's gonna snap out of existence. And then it will give you something like this. Obviously you should make yours a lot bigger than mine is, but this was just to be quicker. And the reason we're zooming up to 4 times is just so this is less objects, because if you do it with 1 time scaled objects, that could cause lag. Another important thing is, let's actually go back to where I have this. You need to make sure it shows up above all the objects, and the easiest way to do that, just set it to T4. This is the Edit Group tab, T4. Edit Group, T4. And that will make it so it goes above everything else, including the player. If you want the fade transition to be longer, you just turn this up or down. You know, this is the same thing, but this is where it goes back to being invisible. And that's about it. So that's it for this. Yeah.